This the one that y'all really, really been waiting for. They wanted to make sure that he was comfortable. What's up, everybody? It's your girl B Octavia, and I am back with another video. And y'all know what video this is. Now, if you don't know me, my name is B Octavia. I'm from Washington, D.C., and I'm an entrepreneur. Here on my channel, I talk about street legends, current events, strictly my content, what's going through my head, what I'm thinking about, and really how I feel. These past few days, I've been getting flooded, asking me how I feel about Alpo being shot and killed. If you don't know me by now, then you should know that I let shit play out first. I let it play out so that I can see and hear what's going on. And I do that before I speak. Now, I done let everybody else take their turn. Everybody went real quick too. I mean, you really don't have to put no thought into it, but I'll tell you exactly why I waited and why it makes sense to wait. Damn, it's all these fucking sirens and shit. I pray for him, you know what I'm saying? I pray for him, because it's a lot going. I pray everybody alright. Go on up the fucking street. Alright. I wanted to wait specifically because from the start of October 31st, Halloween, first it was like Instagram was hitting me up. You know what I'm saying? Hit me up through the comments. And for real, I didn't believe it right off because people was always doing that. They was always bringing Alpo up under my comments on my pictures on Instagram or what have you. So I just thought somebody was just talking shit about Alpo. And then people started sending it to my DMs, people that I actually fuck with on Instagram. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm going to really have to still wait until I get a certain confirmation. What is that confirmation? Family, okay? I didn't feel like it could be fully confirmed until any one of them said something. Because what y'all need to realize is a lot of these articles and blogs is not reputable websites. They not people that can really co-sign something that you can believe. You remember when your elders told you don't believe everything you hear? That's how I move, right? So even though it was this blog and that article and this one, I'm like, you can say it's a 55-year-old, but until they put his name on there and not say it's allegedly him, I can't even move like that. October 31st around 8 o'clock is when Alpo's son, Paparazzi Poe, actually put out a post about his father passing. And that's when, in my mind, it was fully confirmed. Not early that morning, not in the afternoon, in the evening. That night as well, I got sent the images of his big red truck that was riddled in bullets. So that's how I got my confirmation. You gotta actually see some shit for yourself, right? See some shit for yourself or wait for the family to speak or do both of those. We gotta learn patience, and if I gotta teach y'all over here, I'ma teach y'all. So let's move on to how I feel. The thing about this situation is you can't feel bad for Alpo when he is responsible for so much heartache and chaos. Who I do feel bad for is his children, who didn't get much time with them, but his children are old enough to be able to handle this. You gotta realize that this happened because of the life that Alpo had, the life that he built and broke. I felt bad for his children, but within the same breath, you have to think about the victims' children as well, who were robbed of any real experience with their fathers. So let's lay this out. Alpo was sitting in his big red truck in Harlem around 3 a.m. when the shots rang out. 5 bullets precisely going through his window and pumping into his chest a big red fucking truck. I've said this 1,000 times. His demise and downfall before his death was money. It was money and it still is. He is responsible for killing close partners over money. And spending big money on that big red truck made him an automatic target. It made him a target in the end. Ever since his release in 2015, he's been popping out here and there. And in the more recent years, it's been more frequently than that. I mean, it felt like back to back I was seeing him on different people's YouTube. 15-30 second clip here and there. But it was enough to at least see how people was reacting. It was enough to see what kind of way he was feeling, you know, and he looked happy. And I know that that pissed some people off. I know that that pissed a lot of people off. Him on the block. I remember one video I seen, and it was people really wanting to take pictures with him and things like that. And I was wondering, how is he able to do all of this with no static from nobody? And of course, you will have a YouTuber here or there say, oh, Alpo got beat up. People kept circulating rumors about him getting jumped, him getting beat up, somebody smacking him in the face or something. No video, no nothing. How can I believe that? And that was never confirmed, right? And I know now why. It seemed like it was no static from nobody. They wanted to make sure that he was comfortable. And in my opinion, he got way too comfortable in a place that he caused a lot of heartache and a lot of chaos. I honestly think, as far as Alpo is concerned, he forgave himself for his sins a long time ago. But the streets don't forget. The people that are hurting decades later don't forget. And even if you forgive yourself, karma takes its patient time. His incarceration was not karma. That's the judicial system's way of holding you accountable for your sins. But God and karma don't got nothing to do with jail time. Karma is going to do you the same way, if not worse, than you've done to people, than you've done to the closest people to you. This is really a lesson for everybody that's watching too. God and karma will not allow you to get away with the foul things that you've done forever. In my opinion, Alpo Martinez lived a nice and then lavish life before his incarceration. Even after his incarceration, of course, we didn't see how his finances was or anything, but he always made sure that he was in a nice coat or something like that. Money. And after his incarceration, it was like you would never see this dude without a smile on his face. You would never see him not smiling. He wouldn't let his demons and his sins visibly show. And to me, that was always odd. The interview he did talking to Troy Reed, is it? Talking old boy through how he killed and dumped Rich Porter's body and things like that. Taking us on a car ride. That was very odd. Odd and unnecessary. And all of those things that I just mentioned mounted up to even more disrespect. How can you disrespect your close friends, family members by even killing them, right? But then after you get out from what you did, you still want to speak on it in this way? It was a way that it should have been handled. It was a way that their friendships and these bonds should have been handled. But just as I say that, I say it was a way that he could have came out and stayed out the way. It was also a way that he could have told his story in respect. Of course, you know, their family members aren't going to want you to say shit. But within telling your story, and it's coming from you on a major network or something that can do something for you versus you showing up on this block or that block. What the fuck is that going to do? What is that going to prove? And to me, it just seems like, sadly, he never got out of the hood mentality and wanting to prove something to the hood. Oh, you want to pull up in Harlem in a big red fucking truck. This is not 1989. It's not. Where you can just pull up in a nice truck or a nice little hoopty or whatever these niggas was driving. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't give a fuck about cars and shit like that. That don't excite me. And it's something about it that bothers me because it's no showing off that you really have to do. Especially as Alpo Martinez. But it seemed like he really still had something to prove. And I don't even think he got to prove that. I think it was proved to him that he shouldn't have moved that way. I'm from a different generation, so although I don't respect what he did as far as killing his close friends, having his close friends killed, let me rephrase that. I don't respect him snitching on Wayne Perry and them, and I wouldn't do it myself. It's like this with me. I never had no issue with Alpo. I call a spade a spade. Bottom line, his karma came around from the many lives that he snatched. Rich Porter, Demencio, Big Head Gary, Andre Tank Johnson, Michael Frey Salters. Rich Porter didn't get the opportunity to have kids. And all of the rest of the names that I mentioned didn't get to raise their children. With the frustration that came and stuck for 5+ years, since 2015, since his release, all of the victims' families deserve peace. And here on the East Coast, I don't know about whoever else, right? But we can live with an eye for an eye. This ain't no hate train, right? And that's why I'm being kind of careful about how I put this video out, because this is where it ends, okay? This is the finale. And this is happening in 2021. This is where a lot of people can really gain the peace that they've been looking for. I can only imagine how it would feel for all of these videos to come out of him, you know, enjoying his life still. And it takes a certain mindset to be able to do that. And that's why I think of it as odd, you know, because you can't come to terms with what you've done without fully apologizing to the victim's family, fully taking accountability for those things, you know. So to have a mindset of, oh, I'm gonna get out and enjoy my life and put it out on social media, let people record, when I am powerful enough to say, put your fucking phone down. I don't want nobody recording me. These people can talk about it on the street, but for them to talk about it on social media and motherfuckers know where you be at, it was only a matter of time. And maybe that's something that he knew. Maybe that's something that he wasn't afraid of, and I don't think he should have been afraid of it. Because you don't do people like that. The hugest lesson with all this backdooring shit going on, because ain't that where it started? That's the original backdoor. That's a nigga that really backdoored a lot of his homies, a lot of his niggas, right? And that shit is going on in today's time as well. It's all gonna catch up to you. God sees it. Karma will come around, and it's gonna come around right after you forgive yourself. Fuck anybody else forgiving you. Because that's the mindset that he had. To have somebody do this little fake ass documentary, taking y'all through how he did what he did to Rich Porter, That's you forgiving yourself, not anybody else. And that's why I'm grateful for the content that I've done, because I knew that his character and his personality would not end up somewhere good. You know, the feds may say, oh yeah, businessman, a lot of people liked him. And that was true. But you a wolf in sheep's clothing. You can't hide it. And it's no way that, you know, people that was involved won't feel some type of way. And it's no way that the motherfuckers on social media is not going to feel some type of way. When you don't know who's who. This ain't just the streets no more. This social media too. He jumped in that water. He wasn't ready for it. You got to be more careful if you've caused a lot of heartache and chaos. People was even talking about George Zimmerman. Fuck that nigga. He gonna get his. Just imagine how long it's gonna take for George Zimmerman to get his. And that just happened not too long ago. Okay? So we gotta be patient. Karma is already patient. And we see that, right? We gotta be patient and wait for karma to do its thing. Wait for him to get comfortable. And it's going to happen. It ain't nothing that we got to really rejoice about. It's God's work. It's what was going to be done. And with all that being said, you know, I want to say rest in peace to the victims first. Rest in peace to Rich Porter. Rest in peace to Michael Frey Salters. Rest in peace to Big Head Gary. Rest in peace to Andre Tank Johnson. And rest in peace to Demencio. And just because I was raised with a certain respect, I will say rest in peace to Alpo Martinez. It's your girl B. Octavia. That's about all I have to say.